Every pilot knows the importance of checklists, but let's be honest, they can be a hassle sometimes. Oftentimes they end up in the bottom of your flight bag, the paper gets torn, or they get misplaced altogether and you just omit using it. Garmin Pilot fixes every single one of these issues with their built-in digital checklist system. Once you get it configured and you get used to it, you'll wonder how you flew without it. In this video, I'll teach you how to master the checklist feature in the Garmin Pilot app. We will start with importing a manufacturer's checklist for an aircraft, and then I'll run through how to manually create one or modify one if that suits you a little better. By the end of this video, you'll have your checklist loaded and ready for your next flight. So let's dive in. So to import a manufacturer's checklist, we will go home, go to the checklist screen, and hit Add Checklist Binder, and then select an aircraft manufacturer. From there, you will select your model. So we'll go with a Cessna 150, for example. And now it pulls up all of these pre-built checklists from the manufacturer or from the POH, and you can choose to include or exclude different ones that you prefer. I would probably start by recommending just saving them all, and then we can always delete them later. So if your checklist doesn't show up in the binder, all you need to do is hit Edit, Sort, Unsort, and Done. And then it'll pop up down here on the bottom. Just sometimes Garmin Pilot gets a little finicky and does that. Okay, and now we've got our checklist. So you'll see that they're split into 3 categories. We've got normal, abnormal, and emergency procedures here up top. And then the normal category has subcategories built in, and that's gonna be pre-flight, takeoff and cruise, and landing. Now, you totally can just use this checklist as it is right now. So we can come through and just start checking off items. You can either use the check next item button in the lower right-hand corner, or you can check the individual items however you want. Now, although this is great, I do recommend tailoring this checklist to your exact aircraft. I've had the best luck with checklists in general on if they're not tedious to use. Obviously, they're very important for use, but if you're just doing pattern work and it's too tedious to run your pre-takeoff and your pre-landing check every time, you're just not going to use it. So strip out all the non-essential information and maybe even have like a separate checklist for a towered airport versus a non-tower controlled airport, or for VFR operations and IFR operations. So then you're not sorting through IFR checklist options when you're flying VFR. So if we want to edit this checklist, we can hit just the edit button up here in the top right-hand corner, and now it pulls up all of these different binders. If we want to delete a subset of checklists altogether, just hit the delete button and it's gone. And then over here on the right-hand side, we can select whichever checklist we would like. We can change the title, the type, or the group, or we can come in and modify each of these options. So if I didn't like this option, I could delete it, or I could come over here and change that to, say, 1/8 of an inch instead of 1/4 inch, depending on personal preference. Now you can also change this field entirely. So if you want to, instead of plain text, make it a note, make it a little more textual, larger text option, you could do that. And just modify this exactly how you like. Now, oftentimes modifying the manufacturer's checklist to your liking is more work than just creating one from scratch. So once we're done, we can hit save. But let's run through how to manually create a checklist. So manual checklist creation is the same thing. So you'll go home, checklists, add checklist binder. Now we can hit new checklist binder if we want to start with a blank slate. And then all we need to do in this screen is name it. So I make it like your airframe. So I'll do Piper Dakota. I'm going to name it test so I don't use it in flight. And then you just need to add at least one checklist. Don't worry about making them. You can't even rename it here. It's kind of clunky. So at this point in time, just add one checklist and press save. And then it should pop up here in the bottom. If not, we need to do the same: edit, sort, unsort, and done. And then it should populate. So let's open up that checklist binder. And you can see here, now we've got a blank slate. So we just need to hit edit, and it'll open up this familiar screen again where we can start adding in our checklist. So here is the paper checklist that I like to fly with. I just made it in Excel, and it's a piece of paper folded in half and laminated, and it's very simple. That's what I like about it. Like these are my entire operations, and then my emergency procedures are on the back. So I really like this simplified checklist option, and I do still keep this in the airplane. I just wedge it between the glare shield and the windshield so it's always there, but I have an exact copy of this checklist on Garmin Pilot. So I'll run through adding a couple of categories. I'm not going to sit here and enter this whole thing because it'll take 20 minutes and you'll get bored, but just so you can kind of get the gist of it. So I don't really use a checklist for pre-flight. Maybe I should, judge me all you want. What is kind of nice though is you can get Garmin Pilot on your iPhone or whatever your smartphone is and carry that when you're doing your pre-flight checklist instead of carrying your iPad around. I've noticed the iPad's pretty clunky to have in one hand while you're trying to strain fuel or climb underneath the wing, whatever it may be. Your phone's probably just a little more manageable. So these will sync once they're connected to internet. Any changes you make on your iPad will sync to your iPhone Garmin Pilot. So it couples up really well, but that's just something I'd recommend for a pre-flight check. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with a pre-start checklist. So I can come in here, I can rename it pre-start. I like the type in the group, and then we'll just start adding items. So flaps need to be up. Seat belts latched. Have master off. And my brake should be on. Okay, so that's it for that. Now we need to come down here, and on completion, we need to tell the app what we want to do. So we have a couple of options. You can do nothing. So when you check the final option on the checklist, it won't do anything. You can go to the next checklist, which is really nice, or you can have it automatically open some sort of a different feature within the Garmin Pilot app. So for pre-start, I like the default option of go to the next checklist because when I'm done with this, I'm going to go to my start check. So we'll do that. Now I just need to add another checklist, and we'll make this one the engine start checklist. Now you can see here on the last one, instead of plain text, I'm going to make it say local altimeter. So then whenever I get to that point, it's just going to show the altimeter setting for the nearest weather reporting airport, which is a super handy feature. Go to our next checklist, then we can add another one and go ahead and make our taxi check. Now for clearance, I'll go ahead and add our clearance frequency, and then on completion, I will make it open safe taxi. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. We're not all the way done, but I want to show you how this cycles through. So for my pre-start check, we can run through our checks. When that's completed, it'll take us to our engine start check automatically. I can run these checks. There's my altimeter setting, so 3004 at Springfield. Once I hit that, it'll take us to our taxi check. When I run my taxi check, you can see that it's showing Springfield clearance frequency. And then when that's done, I set it to open the safe taxi, so now I can accept this prompt, and it'll open up the safe taxi for the airport that you're at. However, I'm closest to our hospital helipad, so that's what it thinks I'm leaving from. So there's no safe taxi chart. If we want to edit a self-created checklist, we can just come over here and edit it once again. And like I said, there are all sorts of different options that you can play around with. I really like using the note field with just a title, and I can get rid of this text, and it formats like a nice heading change. Let's see if we can come back. So then it makes like a nice title header up here at the top. So if you're kind of a formatting nerd, you can format it exactly how you'd like. I would just encourage you to go ahead and play around with it, figure out what fields you like, what fields you don't like, what fields you like to be dynamic, and then which ones you like static. The goal of here is simplicity and ease of use. You want to make this checklist as user-friendly as possible, so then you'll be sure to run it in the cockpit. And I might as well go ahead and show you, we have the split screen option on the map as well. So you can access all of your checklists from here too. So you can hit the back arrow, go to the binder, select your aircraft, and then it's the same thing. You can scroll through your checks, and it does the same prompt even though you're on the map screen to open safe taxi, or you can dismiss it if you want to stay right here. So the split screen option is a great feature. Like I said, it's going to sync through the entire app on your iPad. It'll sync with your iPhone when they're both connected to the internet. It's just a really nice cohesive system. Okay, but as far as tips and tricks on the checklist, I've already shared a couple of them with you, but the first one is just keep it as simple as possible. Make it as user-friendly as possible, so then you're more apt to use it when you're flying. The second one, use Garmin Pilot on your iPhone for the pre-flight, so then you're not carrying around your precious iPad on the ramp and risk dropping it on the pavement. That would not be a good day. Another one that I recommend is to make separate binders for, say, IFR and VFR operations, or you could do non-towered and towered operations for the same airframe. So then you've only got the exact information that you need at the time. There's no use in needing to filter through your IFR checklist items when you're just on a VFR flight. And then lastly, share your checklist with other people, especially like if you're in a flight club or you're sharing a rental airplane with somebody else. You can come up here and share these, and you can text them, airdrop it to them, save it to your files, whatever that may be. And then they don't have to manually create these. They can just import them directly from their text messages, which is awesome. Okay, and that's it. That's how you use checklists in the Garmin Pilot app. Whether you are importing them from manufacturer's checklists and modifying them to your specs, or just creating one from scratch, I hope this video was helpful, and you can use it next time you're in the cockpit to really streamline your workflow. Remember, the simpler you keep your checklists, the more apt you are to use them when the time comes. Also, make sure to share them with people in your community. If you have a shared airplane, I'm sure people would love to receive a custom-made checklist from you. I hope you found this video helpful. You guys fly safe, and we'll see you in the next video.